Hello students, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we are going to study about the activation energy and the collision theory. First of all, I am going to explain you about the terminology of activation energy. So it's basically the minimum amount of energy that is required by anything to start a chemical reaction. You can take the example from the everyday life as I have given you the example in which you are being shown with the wood fire, and a lighter supplies the activation energy so that we can burn the woods. So heat is basically the energy here which is needed to initiate the process, and as a result this process will be formed and combustion occurs. So activation energy is always required by all the molecules for them to get react together and form a new bond, and it is represented generally by the symbol of EA, in which E is the capital letter and small a is written in the subscript. So it's the activation energy. Whenever the reactant have the activation energy which is equal to this barrier which they need to cross to form the product, this will be the only thing which is governing the reaction. Now we'll see what is the collision theory and how it affects the formation of a new chemical reaction or a chemical bond. Now, as far as the collision theory is concerned, collision theory name indicates that the molecule, if they are going to react together, they must collide with each other, and for them to get collided, we must need some ground rules. Like the first rule is the proper orientation of the molecules. As you can see in the diagram, we have molecule A and we have molecule B. When they are lying parallel to each other, this is the correct orientation so that each of the particle can collide properly and form an activated complex which is unstable because it will form just for a few seconds, and it's known as activated complex because it's highly energetic and will have the maximum amount of energy which is shown in the graph at the peak stage. After this, it will release as in the form of a new bond as AB. Two molecules of AB are formed. So these are the effective collision. Now if I align the molecule A and molecule B like this, which are horizontal, and if they collide, they will react to form AABB, but it's not the activated complex because now it is not properly binded together to form the complex. So the product will be released as the original reactant like A molecule and B molecule. So these are ineffective collision because it does not result in the production of the unstable activated complex, which is a transition state. Now we'll see what is going to happen next. So here is another depiction of the orientation. You can see the diagram in which the reactants are properly aligned here, and after effective collision results in the form of the products. But if they are aligned like this is an improper alignment. If they are present side by side instead of being parallel, then the collision will be ineffective and reactants will regenerate back instead of forming the original products. Now we'll see the energy profile diagram for both type of reactions, either the exothermic or the endothermic. If we are going to see the reaction pathway for the exothermic diagram, you can see the reactants at the start of the reaction, they have the high energy, and the products, they have low energy as compared to the reactants, because for the exothermic reaction, products must have to release energy so that they can get stable. So on y-axis we have energy, and on x-axis we have reaction progress or the reaction path. Reactants, when they surpass a certain peak point, they will be converted into product. The difference between this reactant's energy and the higher peak point is actually the activation energy, and the difference between this reactant's energy and the product's energy will be your enthalpy of the reaction or the heat of the reaction. And in case of exothermic reaction, it is going to be released, so delta H will be negative. As you can see in this diagram, that's a comparative angle for exothermic reaction. See, the reactant's activation energy is from reactant to the point of the activated complex, and the difference of the reactants and the products, the remaining energy which is left because the transition state has already been formed, this is the energy released It means minus delta H, which is released after the reaction. Now observe the same for the endothermic reaction. For endothermic reaction, in the start reactants will have low amount of energy, and after the formation of product, because it has absorbed the energy, so it's going to be higher in energy profile diagram. So the difference of the energies from the reactants to the formation of the activated complex is the actual activation energy, and the difference between the product and the reactant energy is the delta H, which is the enthalpy of the reaction. Now we'll see this in the diagram. As you can see, the difference of the energy between the reactants and the activated complex is actually representing the activation energy. The difference which is between the products and the activation is the energy absorbed, means plus delta H, which is the enthalpy of the reaction, because it's an exothermic reaction. So we can say the exothermic reaction must have the energy equals to plus delta H. So that is all about the activation energy and the collision theory. So general points that you must keep in mind should be the collision of the molecules. They must collide, and for their collision they must have a proper orientation. Number 2, they must have the energy higher than the activation energy so that they can cross this barrier to form the transition state. Only then can the reaction occurs. Now I am going to explain all this and summarize this in Urdu. रिएक्टेंट्स और प्रोडक्ट्स के बीच में कोलिजन थ्योरी है, जिसके लिए आपके पास 2 पॉइंट्स हैं जो आपको याद होने चाहिए. हर रिएक्शन को स्टार्ट करने के लिए आपको चाहिए कि रिएक्टेंट्स के पास इतनी एनर्जी हो जो ट्रांजिशन स्टेट को बनाने में चाहिए होती है, और ट्रांजिशन स्टेट को बनाने के लिए आपके पास इतनी एनर्जी होनी चाहिए जो एक्टिवेशन एनर्जी से ज़्यादा हो. अगर एक्टिवेशन एनर्जी से कम एनर्जी होगी मॉलिक्यूल्स के पास तो एनर्जी से रिएक्शन कभी स्टार्ट नहीं होगा. अगर ट्रांजिशन स्टेट बनाने के लिए एनर्जी एक्टिवेशन एनर्जी के बराबर है या एक्टिवेशन एनर्जी से ज़्यादा है, तभी आपका रिएक्शन होगा, इस पीक पॉइंट पे आएगा और आपके पास प्रोडक्ट बनेगा. अदरवाइज़ आपका प्रोडक्ट कभी नहीं बनेगा. दूसरी बात, सेकंड पॉइंट ये है कि रिएक्टेंट्स के लिए प्रॉपर ओरिएंटेशन होना बहुत ज़रूरी है. ओरिएंटेशन का मतलब कि उसका पोजीशन या एंगल, कि वो कैसे प्रॉपरली प्रेजेंट है, कि वो एक दूसरे के पैरेलल प्रेजेंट है या एक दूसरे के साइड बाय साइड प्रेजेंट है. अगर तो साइड बाय साइड है तो उसकी प्रॉपर कोलिजन नहीं होगी, वो कभी भी नहीं टकराएंगे आपस में, या फिर कम्प्लीटली पूरे के पूरे आपस में क्लोज नहीं होंगे, क्लोजली टकराएंगे नहीं, तो नया प्रोडक्ट नहीं बनेगा. और अगर वो पैरेलली अलाइन है, पैरेलल अलाइनमेंट के अंदर हर एक मॉलिक्यूल इक्वल चांसेस पे होता है कि वो एक दूसरे के साथ पार्टिसिपेट कर सके कोलिजन के अंदर, तभी इफ़ेक्टिव कोलिजन्स होती हैं और आपका प्रोडक्ट बनता है. तो आपके पास क्या चीज़ है कि हर मॉलिक्यूल के पास एक्टिवेशन एनर्जी से ज़्यादा एनर्जी हो. दूसरी बात कि उसकी ओरिएंटेशन जो है वो प्रॉपरली अलाइनमेंट के अंदर हो, तभी आपके रिएक्शन के अंदर कोलिजन होगी मॉलिक्यूल्स की और तभी आपका प्रोडक्ट बनेगा. यही 2 पॉइंट्स हैं जो आपको याद रखने हैं. Now that's all from my side regarding the activation energy in collision theory. Now subscribe my channel to get the latest updates so that you can study about further the use of catalyst. How can you bring about the change in the activation energy? यानी आप एक्टिवेशन एनर्जी को ज़्यादा या कम कैसे कर सकते हैं, ये आपको आने वाले लेक्चर्स में पता चलेगा. सो स्टे ट्यून्ड और लेक्चर्स की तैयारी करते रहिए ताकि आपको वाकई केमिस्ट्री फ़न लगे. ये ना हो कि आप मज़ीद मुश्किल का शिकार हो जाएं, जो आपको केमिस्ट्री आती है वो भी भूल जाएं. तो साथ साथ तैयार करते रहें, रिवाइज़ करते रहें. जो चीज़ यहाँ समझ नहीं आती, यू कैन आस्क मी in person during your classes, after your class, whenever you feel like it. So that's it from my side.